Hello everybody, Blake Root is here. Welcome to the 30 days, 30 critique sessions, and we're on day 24. I actually tried to record that a second ago and had no idea what day we were on. Critique sessions, and we are on day 24, I think. Yeah. This has been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself, and we're coming into the close here with only 6 more days left, and this is going to be a fun one. And today we're going to be looking at F64 Elite member VARTKES image. I'm not sure how to say that last name, so I do not want to butcher it, so I'm just going to leave it here so you can see it. But before we do that, we have ourselves a really interesting twist here, and this twist comes from Jay Halloran. Thank you, Jay, for this one. Use only the tone and depth mask panels on the visionary panel to do any tone, color, and effects edits. And if you dress up in some sort of costume, your choice, I'll donate another $25 to Give Kids Art. So, you know, I'm going to have to do that because I want to see $25 go to Give Kids Art. So I'm going to do the work of this critique in costume and pay homage to one of my favorite artists of all time. All right, so we ready to get into this critique? Here we have F64 Elite member VARTKES image, and I really like this waterfall shot. One of the reasons why I like it so much is I almost feel like, if you've ever been on a hike searching for a waterfall, you know that as you're hiking towards that waterfall, you can always hear it. Like you're going through the woods, you hear the waterfall, and you're like, oh man, I can't wait to get there, I can't wait to get there. And then as soon as you get there, especially if it's a long hike, you kind of peer through the trees and you see it for the first time, and you're like, that's what I came here for. That's what I feel from this. It's almost as if I'm parting the trees and peering through to see this waterfall, and that's what I enjoy about this space. I like how you've used color to really make those yellows come out really nicely, but I do have some disconnects with this as well. First and foremost, I feel like the waterfall is placed a little bit low, so there's almost the exact same amount of space given to the top of the waterfall, like where the water's not coming out at all, than there is to the waterfall itself. So that kind of takes away from the dominance of this waterfall. So I think we can crop in a little bit here, and it appears like there's a little bit too much yellow in that space. And I think I know you're trying to embrace the yellow to show the golden color of those beautiful leaves on the left-hand side, and we're going to keep that for sure. But that space right in the middle where the waterfall is could really be a little bit brighter and get my eye towards there, because right now my eye is really only going right here. So let's jump into Photoshop and get to the work. You know, I was really excited to see that the randomizer gave us a happy tree here for us to work on. I did not plan this, trust me. The image was picked before the challenge. So, but the other part of the challenge is I can only use the tone panel here and the depth masking in order to make this work. So I know for a fact that I need a curves adjustment layer to brighten this area up. So I'm going to use the tone sculpting and see if this can do it. So tone sculpting is usually something that I use as kind of like dodging and burning, that looks at the tone clusters that we see in our tone evaluation, and it uses that as a way to modify those tonal values so that we can get the eye where we want it to go. So I'm going to turn the tone evaluation off, and we'll just start moving this in those brighter areas. So I'm going to brighten this up a little bit, maybe darken this down here. Okay, and then maybe make my lights darker. And the thing is here, I don't like what's happening here. So I am going to make a little diversion from this, but I'm not going to delete the curve. So technically speaking, I had to use the tone panel, correct? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the tone sculpt. I'm going to move this curve out of the group, and then I'm going to use this curve to fix everything. Ready? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to brighten this up, because I want this to be brightened up in this space right here, okay, right where we're looking at the waterfall. And I'm going to bring that up just a little bit right here. I don't want to bring it too high to make the whites blow out, so I'm going to pull this down, and then I'll pull this down in the whites too so that they don't blow out. Okay, that'll protect them from blowing out. Now what you'll see here is that we can definitely see that there's a lot of yellowing in there. So let's now use this exact same curve, and we'll go into the blue, and we'll pull some of that blue back in there to take the yellow away from it. And then we'll go into the green and pull some of the green out of it and make it a little bit more on the magenta side, okay, to blend that. And then we'll go into the red, and we'll maybe add a little hint of red to cut through some of that cyan. Now that's going to work great for this area, but it looks horrible on the outsides. So let's try this. I'm going to go into depth, and I'm going to try to make sure that this doesn't hit the foreground things by using a depth mask. So I'm just going to use this depth mask here. This beard is really bothering me. Get out of my mouth. Okay, and it says, I'm going to make a new mask for it because I need to make the depth mask. It does look a little bit better than my beard, though. I will say that. So, what did it do? It definitely blocked out this tree really well, and it did a decent job of blocking out this tree. But what I'm going to do is press B for my brush tool. I'm going to brush with black on here and just brush this away right here. So that kind of we're making that frame essentially for what VARTKES wanted in his image here. So I'm pull this over here, and I hope I'm not butchering your name. I'm sorry about that. And then, so that looks pretty good. With the curve sculpting, you see we got the eye in there. Now let's look at the tone evaluation. You can see that we brought the eye into the space that we should be looking at. Now let's look at the composition. I'll press C for the crop tool, and this is set to 1:1 or 8:10. So I'm going to delete that and then go back again. Okay, and now I'm going to press and hold the shift key and crop in. And you see what I'm trying to do here is just take away some of the space from the top of that so it really becomes about the waterfall. And making it almost even so that this side fills in this side of the rule of thirds, this fills in this side of the rule of thirds, and our waterfall takes up most of the rule of thirds. I can even go a little bit more so that waterfall really does. And then that will really help us accentuate the waterfall and even make this feel a little bit more of that peering through kind of feeling. Okay, so one other thing I want to do here is I'm going to press muted darks so that my dark areas don't become like these pits of black that draw the attention into them. And then let's see what happens if I put the global contrast up. That's going to bring in a lot of beautiful color on this, I think. But I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go global contrast down because I think that was a little bit too much. So if I press Alt or Option and move this up, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so here's the before, after. You see we're just brightening up that space and getting them in there and avoiding this happy little tree. And then this one, yeah, we're good. I think that looks good. Good job. I think you have all the bones here for this, and I really like the view that you're giving us, but I think that we could crop it a little bit better and maybe get the eye into that space a little bit more. But otherwise, great stuff. Thank you for sharing this with us, VARTKES. And here we have our showcase image that comes in from F64 Elite member Danny Portnoy. I love the drama and tension in this image. You know, I like the fact that you didn't fear going to black in certain areas because it really increases the drama of this and almost makes it feel like a black and white image. But then you have this subtle hint of color, and that subtle hint of color adds a layer of tension to this image that I don't think would be there without it. It's that warmth, right? That warmth that comes in that almost makes this kind of feel inviting, but at the same time, you're invited into this space that looks like, you know, just sheer chaos in a way, but also beauty at the same time. It's like the mystery of being a human that wants to go towards things that look like they could be slightly dangerous, but at the same time look like they might be kind of fun at the same time, right? So I really enjoy how you edited this image to pull me in as a viewer and make me look at all the individual details, but you're also very cautious about where you put me and what details you want me to look at because of where you've blocked out things with black. It's a brave, bold move. I probably wouldn't do it, but I appreciate the fact that you did because I'm being navigated through this image, through the areas of high highlight into the areas of midtone, and then those black boundary barriers that you've created keep me from going into those spaces. So I really just want to walk right into this space, almost like using this as a stair step, and my eye just comes right in here and then just navigated right into the sky. So I think you did a really good job with this. So thank you very much for sharing this with us, Danny. It's a beautiful showcase image. Okay. I've chewed on this beard enough. I think it's time that we go back to normal. What do you say? Yeah. So here's your donation update. We had $5,000 come in from the Circle of Dreams last weekend. $5,324 has come in from 112 individual donors. And the interactions on F64 Academy have brought in $1,474, which brings our combined total to $11,798, which translates to 787 art kits, or just a little over 4 years of programming for 50 to 60 students. And that's coming in because of this campaign and because of your awesome generosity. Listen, this is not a me thing, this is a we thing, okay? We are coming together to do this, not me. The platform is here for sure, but we are coming together. Look at those individual donations. And look at the donations coming in from Circle of Dreams. I meant no disrespect at all today by dressing up as Bob Ross, because honestly, that's where my art career started, as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old with colored pencils watching Bob Ross on Saturday mornings before my cartoons would come on. And that's pretty much how I got my start with art. So my prayer, it's not a plea, my prayer for this is that if we could get 787 art kits out there, if just one person if just one of those kids gets the bug that I got for art and then grows up to defy all the laws of what you should be doing for a living through their passion, that's going to be incredible. And it's not an easy thing to do, but I pray that over every single one of these art kits that goes out, or every single child that goes through the program that Give Kids Art is putting out for this. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, 100%. So we've got a couple more days left. Let's keep it going. Give me a good twist. Give me a good challenge. You should know by now that there is almost nothing that will stop me from getting funds into Give Kids Art. See you guys tomorrow on day 25.